what happened to my arm in the ambulance. They bruised me up pretty bad. I had a IV there, an IV there. That one just turned red, didn't bruise too bad, but this one bruised pretty bad. Hi guys, been a little while. I wanted to come on and have a little talk for Tea Tuesday and explain to you what was going on, what happened. A couple of weeks ago, I got up that morning and I was feeling fine. I mean, nothing out of the ordinary, so I got my coffee, and as soon as it came daylight, I went out. It was probably about 6:30. I went out on the front deck to have coffee, and I don't know, I was probably out there about 7:30 or so, and the sun had already come up, and I just all of a sudden just kind of started feeling nauseated and not well. I just kind of started getting dizzy, and I looked at the temperature, and it wasn't even 8 o'clock yet, and it was already about 87 degrees outside. And I'm not supposed to be outside in the temperatures over 85 more than 20 minutes at a time. And that's one of the reasons I don't have a lot of time working in my yard during the day, unless it's just running out there to do something. Well, I came back inside, and I just felt out of it. I mean, I just started feeling like I was really nauseated. And about an hour later, the home doctor that comes to see me, he showed up. And he came in, and he sat down here, and, you know, had his little computer out, was doing his stuff. And I told him, I said, let me run to the restroom and we'll get started. So I go to the restroom, and I come back, and I'm just panting. And he's like, just walking 30 feet down the hall wore you out? And I'm like, yeah, I can't breathe. So I sit down and rest of it, and he started doing his, you know, the little thing where they check your oxygen intake and all that. Then he took my blood pressure, and he's like, He's like, lay your arm across here and just kind of relax. Did it. So I laid it across there, and he did it again. He's like, I got to go out to the car and get the other whatever. So he went out there and got another cup, or band, whatever you want to call it. And he had me do it again. He's like, stand up and do it. And he goes, we need to call 911 right now. I'm like, why, am I dying? He said, your blood pressure is so high. He said, your top number is almost at 217. He said that you are like seconds away from either a heart attack or a stroke. So we call 911, and the lady's like, all right, I want you to go back and get on your nebulizer. And the doctor's over here going, no, I don't want him doing that. And I'm thinking, oh God, I'm dead. These idiots can't get their crap together, and I'm sitting here in the middle listening to them argue what I should be doing. So the lady from 911, she's like, all right, well, don't go do your nebulizer. So about that time, the EMS showed up, and they come in, and they take my blood pressure, and he's like, bring in the oxygen. So they bring in the oxygen, get me on oxygen, and he's still taking my blood pressure and freaking out. And we're just waiting because they couldn't get an ambulance right away because all the ambulance in our area was busy. So they ended up having to call an ambulance out of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, to come pick me up and take me to the hospital. And man, I had an IV in this arm, and I had an IV here. The bruise is starting to go away. I had IV here, and so about that time it started storming. I mean, raining hard. A big storm shows up, and the ambulance pulls up. Well, they have to stay on top of the hill because if it's raining, you can't drive down here or you get stuck. So they had to park up there and bring the gurney down to the front steps. So I had to get up and walk out, and the guys were behind me carrying the oxygen tank and stuff. And I had to walk out and get on the gurney. It's pouring down rain. So they throw this like a plastic blanket type thing over me. And they get me to the top of the hill. And the ambulances that they have now, they don't have to lift you and put you in the ambulance. They have a thing that comes out and lowers down, and the bed hooks onto that, and it lifts the bed and puts it in the ambulance. So they get me in there, and then they all get in there, and we sat there for a long time because they're still doing my blood pressure and doing this and doing that. And he peels that plastic blanket off from me because it's soaked and puddled, and oh, it's so cold in that ambulance. I was about to freeze to death because from here up I was soaking wet and dry from here down. But anyway, they got me to the hospital and got me in, and they rush around doing this and putting another IV in and pulling blood and putting setting me up in bed, and they put boards behind me, and they were doing x-rays of my chest and all that. And I was probably there hour and a half or so. My sister and my niece shows up, and they got my blood pressure down to, I think it was 153 or somewhere in there. It was about 153. And but they didn't give me any kind of medication or anything like that to bring it down. It started coming down on its own. And then when it hit about 137, they told me they were going to go ahead and let me go home, because I'd been there like 4 or 5 hours and it hadn't went back up. So anyway, when I left the hospital, he prescribed me a smaller dosage of high blood pressure pill to go with the other 2 that I was taking. And then I had to make an appointment with my doctor within 4 days. So I do that, and at the doctor's office they start doing tests here, tests there. They send me back to the hospital, and it's been a mess. But anyway, she was really concerned. She said, "What I'm concerned about now is your top number on your blood pressure is good." She said, "Now your bottom number is really high." So then they had to set me some appointments because they can't figure out where much of it's coming. The only thing they found after doing a lot of tests is my cholesterol was a little high, and it wasn't like outrageous, but I was at the point I just felt I was so dizzy and disoriented that I felt like I was in a cartoon world. Like I knew everything was real, but it was like watching a cartoon. It was like almost everything was like sketched or drawn, and I mean I was just almost out of it. But I could understand what people were saying to me, and I could, react back. I could talk back to them, but it just wasn't real. So anyway, that's what's been going on, and just the really high stress of my mom having a heart attack, and they had to rush her in, put stents in her, and my sister having a heart attack, and then some other thing that's going on, and being outside a little too long, and it just, everything was getting to me, and I was just stressing out. Anyway, I gotta be at Monette, Missouri Hospital on July 26th at 6:45 a.m. Then I gotta be for test. Then I gotta be at Cassville August 3rd at 1 in the afternoon for tests. And then we wait for a while for those tests. Then I got to be in Monette on the 20th of September for chest test. Then on the 28th of, September, not November. The 20th of September, I got to be back at Monette Hospital for test. Then the 28th of September, they're sending me over to the big city, Springfield, Missouri, and I've got to go to the Martin Center over there, and they're doing some kind of test. They're doing some kind of test on my chest so they can see things that doesn't show up on x-rays and stuff. But I got to be over there at 8:45 in the morning, and that's 62 miles away, so I'm going to have to leave pretty early. Well, my sister, I think, is going to come down and drive me up there because I can't drive that far by myself. That'd be 62 miles up there, spend the day doing all these tests, and 62 miles back. And my body just won't take it. I just out of it. So if anything between now and then happens that my sister can't go, I can't go. I'll have to what do you call it, cancel, because I just can't do it. But anyway, I guess I can't really say Happy Tea Tuesday, because with all this information, it just... But anyway, that's one of the reasons I couldn't put any videos out, because I was so dizzy and nauseated for it, just unreal. I mean, even sitting here taping this, I'm still a little bit dizzy. I'm better than what I was, but it's still kind of in between that fake and real world. And I've been kind of standing off the computer because I can't really see it right now or anything anyway, because even with my glasses on, everything's kind of blurry and bluzzy and all of that. So, and my mouth, I mean, it was just like totally, completely dry. No matter what I did, no moisture at all in my mouth. It was horrible and it was scary. But I think the scariest part about the whole thing is the 911 operator telling me to go get on my nebulizer machine, and the doctor in the background screaming, "No, I don't want him doing it. No, no, no." And I'm like, wow. But anyway, that's what's been going on, and I'm sorry to pile all this on you guys, but I just wanted you guys to know that I have noticed that some of you has been asking where I'm at, but I haven't been able to. I can't see the numbers on the keyboard to type it out or anything, so I just kind of had to let it go. But I'm getting better, and hopefully we'll get better. But anyway, I'm going to end this right here. But I am trying to do a few little videos that I can get done and get them out. Now, there probably won't be a video Wednesday because I have tests all day. So I'm not going to have time Tuesday to do a video to make sure it gets out on Wednesday, because I got a lot of prepping and stuff I have to do that the doctor requested before I go in for the test. So there won't be a video on Wednesday, and there more likely not going to be a video on August 3rd, and probably no video on September 20th, 28th. Because I have to take care of myself first. But I hope you guys missed me. I sure missed being able to talk to you guys. Anyway, guys, I guess we'll end it right there. And I hope everybody has a great Tea Tuesday. And I hope everybody has a good night.